On this workshop, you're going to discover how to get your calendar full of high-ticket clients in the next 30 days for your coaching business, and with ease. In this hugely overcrowded market, the coaching space has changed enormously in the last year, 2 years, where so many online coaches have jumped on board, selling their programs, selling their courses. Now, I'm going to show you how to get that calendar full without posting 24/7 like a celebrity and without having to be on every single platform out there. It's exhausting, seriously. Now, this does mean you're going to have to forget what everybody else is doing online. Okay, you might see other coaches out there doing XYZ, posting here, posting there, on YouTube, on Twitter, on Snapchat, on LinkedIn, on Instagram, but you've got to go against the grain. And you need to go and get clients instead. That's seriously the case, because a lot of these people will not be getting clients. A lot of these coaches will not be here in 6 months' time. And you have to not become a marketing expert. The system I'm going to show you, you can spend most of your time, 90% of your time, coaching and not doing the marketing. It's that simple. Now, it's a 4-step simple system, and it will allow you to get 3 to 5 at least clients every single month to fill your calendar. Now, this is the benchmark, really, getting 3 to 5 high-ticket clients for you to be able to quit your day job, do this full-time, just literally live your passion. That is literally the benchmark. It doesn't mean to say you have to stick to 3 to 5 clients a month. You can scale, and there's plenty of coaches that I've worked with that have gone beyond that, but that is our starting point. Now, you can do this without doing what everybody else is doing, being on social media 24/7. I remember when I tried all that, I was a deskaholic. I literally sat at my desk early morning, 7 o'clock, didn't leave it till 11, had the odd break. Kids wondered where I was. What are you doing? Why don't you spend any time with us anymore? It was weekends. It was a relentless battle, and it was draining me. And it didn't get me clients. Got me a few, okay, but they weren't very high value. They didn't last very long, and it dried up pretty quick. Without being super famous on every single platform. We do not have to be famous online. That's the myth. You do not have to be famous online at all. And, we don't have to be charging measly hourly rates. A lot of my clients, they might be, come to me and they're charging £50, $50 an hour. We don't want to be on that level, okay? And, we don't have to be a marketing expert, and we don't have to spend loads of time trying to figure all this stuff out. And the good news is, a lot of clients come to me and think, I'm thinking of writing my book, I'm thinking that this could get me clients, I could leave a legacy. If I write a book, I'm going to have massive credibility. The answer is no, it doesn't. It really doesn't work like that way at all, which I'm going to come on to. And in the process, I'm going to show you, we don't have to be super salesy, sleazy, closing sales like the gurus tell us doesn't work anymore. I've been there. I've been on a lot of their courses. That's just old hat. When we close our clients now, it's with ease, and they're not surprised by what we do and what we offer, and we're not going to be super salesy, sleazy. And lastly, we do not want that huge to-do list every day. I remember the days where I used to write my list at night time, woke up to a huge to-do list, ticking it off, and it was exhausting. We want the most simplest system where we can turn around and we've got that pipeline of clients when we've finished serving our existing ones. Now, I want to stress this at this point, you need to be charging at least $1,500 for what you do. Now, if you just started out, maybe a different story. You might be doing free clients, maybe charging that $50 an hour. But when you feel like, you're ready to go to the market, you've proven what you does works, you're getting everything right, you need to be charging $1,500 for your programs. Over the years, I've spent £60,000 on training. I've always got coaches. I've been an entrepreneur for 20 years. I've started 5 businesses and scaled them. And when I spent all that money, nothing seemed to gain traction. I was learning ways. Yes, it was useful. Yes, I learned, but it really wasn't the answer to my success in getting clients. I was being told to do lives, post incessantly on social media, do free challenges, offer low-end products, mini courses, e-guides, e-books. I spent hours and hours doing this stuff, and it got me a trickle, if I was lucky, of clients. So I'm not saying don't do lives. I still do them now, but I know their place. I know, I'm not going to do it full time. I'm not going to absorb every 24/7, every hour and every day doing all this stuff. It has its time, it has its place. I even wrote my own book back in, years and years ago, maybe 15 years ago. I tried the health niche out for a little while. I was a little bit into the health niche, and I wrote this book. It took me 3 months, and I was literally at it day and night. It got me nowhere. It seriously got me no clients at all. So yes, we got to create some content. Yes, we got to do a bit of organic, but let's just not go mad on it. Let's not think that's the be all and end all, because I've got another way for you, which is so much better. None of it worked. And I ended up reverting back to what I did for my very own first coaching business back in 2002, with the methods I used then, which worked. We didn't even have Facebook then, or social media, okay? A little bit, I think there was MySpace. And I reverted back to the ways that I now teach my coaching clients, okay? So I want you to stop the madness, okay? These arrows dictate every direction you're taking at the moment. Is it really getting you anywhere? The length of the arrows says that it really is getting you a little bit down the road, but no further. You're spreading yourself way too thin. And I want you to focus on one system, one strategy that will get you to where you want to be. Now, when I started thinking like this and implementing this, it allowed me to start enrolling qualified high-ticket clients every month. And I've now helped my clients quit their day jobs and do this full time. And you can too, shall I say, finally have a full-time coaching business. Now, what does that do for you internally? It gives you so much more self-worth, self-esteem. Your self-esteem goes through the roof. Your husband will be saying to you, or your wife will be saying to you, wow, you've done so well. Maybe they can cut back their hours. Maybe they can take some time off while you sort of start living your dream and doing this as a full-time career. So my Lightning Launch system works for coaches, course creators and service providers who offer high-ticket, one-to-one, group coaching, online coaching and courses. Now, they know they need to invest a little to gain traction quickly. We are running a business after all. We're not running some charity. And to run a business, get a business off the ground, we do need to invest not only in ourselves, but in our business. And you understand the concept of investment. Now, you do understand also, my perfect client knows they need to do some research and they need to create some content. We're not talking about masses. We're talking about enough to keep our pipeline full. My ideal client, my coaches, my clients look for a good return on investment quickly. We're not going to spend 2 years posting incessantly on every single platform trying to gauge traction. That doesn't work for the likes of you and me, okay? And I'll come on to the why later on. My clients are sick of trying to gain that traction by totally using organic alone. So my clients no longer have to take a few steps forward and get somewhere, get some traction, and then it all dries up. You no longer have to get a few cheap clients and then just get too busy serving them to fill your pipeline behind you. And you no longer have to have no system or automated approach. The chaos and the overwhelm will go because you'll wake up and you'll know exactly what to do every day, with clarity and certainty. We haven't got a befuddled system where we're trying to do everything, which gets us nowhere, because that ain't going to work. Now, as I said, the coaching space has got hugely very competitive over the last few years. What worked 4 years or even a year ago doesn't work now. And there are reasons why it's got competitive. The times we've just been through with COVID, a lot of people have changed their attitude towards life. Their businesses might have folded. And you might get a chef now trying to do an online course in, cookery. And there's all sorts of coaches coming online. I specialise in all sorts of coaches, but life coaches tend to be drawn to me. And getting clients for life coaches, there is a very specific way we go about that, because your result isn't as tangible as other people's results. Now, just a little bit about me before I go on. I've been an entrepreneur since 2002. I started with a digital photography coaching business, which rose to high 6 figures within 18 months. Divorce struck and I was bought out of that business. And since then, I built and grown 5 businesses. I've trained business owners to grow their own businesses. I've got a lead agency. And over the years, I've done for you, done with you, and course creation. And I've helped hundreds of coaches get clients and quit their day jobs. So for 20 years now, I've learnt the trick. That's all I've ever done is get clients. And I've spent over $2 million in advertising over those years. And I've helped businesses scale to 7 figures with my lead agency. So I do know what I'm talking about. I practice what I preach. I've made lots of mistakes along the way. And, I've learned from those mistakes. I've been burnt, but I've learned. Now, I switched from face-to-face classes all those years ago. All my classes were face-to-face, helping business owners grow and develop and get clients. And they were all face-to-face. And since going online, I've at least 10 times my income. So now I just want to take you through a few slides just to show you how many coaches I've helped throughout the years. So now I'm going to come on to the 4 don'ts, the big 4 don'ts that you do in your coaching business. So the first one is don't go and act like a celebrity and expect to be one. So I've touched on this, but not all of us want to do lives every day. If just say you're a fitness instructor and you want to do an online course, maybe you're not cut out to do lives. After all, you're a fitness instructor. So whenever have you been trained to get in front of the video and do lives every single day? Maybe it's not what you want to do. Maybe the celebrities do, because they're going to get a massive following whenever they post live. And maybe they are posting every single day because they have got a huge following on every single platform. But we cannot expect the same engagement as the celebrities. And one thing you should know is that Facebook has changed massively in the last year. They don't want us to get the engagement. They literally hold back our engagement because they want you to pay for ads. So what they do is you post something, it shows your post to a very small pocket of your friends list. And if it doesn't resonate straight away, it won't show it to the rest. So your post may only get so many views and then die. And then the lifespan of a post is very limited. I think Twitter tweet's gone in seconds. A Facebook post is gone in a day or 2 or 3 days. And we can reignite those posts in a certain way, but we cannot expect to act like a celebrity or even be one and get the engagement that they do. So we don't need to do that. In fact, if you are completely unknown, that is absolutely fine, because you don't need to be known or get any engagement to get clients. Another don't is don't use the guru funnels. Now, we've got so many gurus out there. I'm not going to mention any names, but they might teach you how to use a slow funnel. And that is what we call a self-liquidating offer funnel. So we offer with a very low value product. It could be $47. And then somebody buys that. And then they've got an order bump. And then they buy that. And then they go on to another page where there's an upsell and then another upsell. These are great for the gurus. But more often than not, they don't work for the likes of you and me, for the normal people, for the new coaches, for lots of different reasons. Because the fastest way to get money into your business is by offering a high ticket product, closing on the phone, okay, and downselling along the way. So you do not need to be using the gurus' funnels. And even the funnels where the gurus offer high end, they may be too complicated. We don't need a complicated funnel. We need something really simple. And you don't even have to use technology. You don't even have to use software to create a funnel. A funnel is simply a way of getting clients in your door. It could be as simple as a conversation in Messenger and, onto your website. We don't even have to create anything. So don't go thinking you have to use gurus, funnels. You have to be super techie. To get clients, we don't have to go that road. Another don't is building on every single platform. I hear coaches saying, well, I'm going to create a podcast, and then I've got my YouTube channel going. I've got a VA putting all the thumbnails on there. And I'm trying to build my friends Facebook, and I've got quite a lot of connections on LinkedIn, but I'm not getting much engagement. And I know I need to sort of get onto Instagram. It's madness. If it doesn't work on one platform, It won't work on any other, seriously. So if you're trying to do all these things, your message, you have to get right on one platform first. You have to make sure it works on that platform first. It's resonating with people before you even try to go onto another platform. Okay, and you're diluting all your effort. And it really takes only one platform to get you to 6 figures. And then maybe when we get to 6, 7 figures, we can start branching out. But at the moment, you don't need to be on every platform. It's actually killing most coaches to try and do that. Now, the other thing I see is my clients come to me saying, well, shall I get an agency to do this or a virtual assistant to do this for me? Well, maybe, but maybe not now. Maybe if you haven't got clients, you haven't got money coming in the door. For one, you're going to be throwing your money at maybe a VA or an agency when you haven't even proven what you offer works. And for two, you have to do that work first and get a system going before you go and hand it on to a VA or an agency. Because I've been ripped off this way, given my work to an agency and thinking they know what they're doing, put them in there, put my trust in them, and it literally was taken for thousands and thousands of pounds. Even a VA can overcharge you, not do the work right. So I say, don't hand everything over to an agency until you've learnt the system yourself, until you've really nailed what you need to do in your business and got a system going so you know when anybody's taking the mickey or not doing things right. And another problem I see is a lot of coaches out there are offering all the same sort of stuff. They've got the same message, they've got the same market, and they've literally got the same offer. So nothing really stands out in a blue ocean. And online, if you're doing everything the same, it just doesn't work. And also, to add to it, they're doing the same things to get clients. Or are they getting clients? That's the big question. You do need to carve out your own blue ocean. So what I find is, at the very bottom of this triangle, everybody's similar to everybody else out there. There's so many coaches, so many life coaches, so many relationship coaches, health coaches. We're posting, they're all posting randomly and everywhere like everyone does. They're not niched down. They're not really saying who they help and what result they get. And it really ends up in no sales, or maybe a trickle, and that's really about it. Okay, you can do things a different way. Don't think yourself you're like those other coaches. You can do things a different way. And I'll tell you now, most coaches, they're not cut out for business. They've learned how to be a coach, they've gone on the training, but they've never run their own business, and they don't really want to run their own business. That's the God's honest truth. They're not really cut out for it. Okay, they don't know that they need to invest in themselves in training. They think they're going to figure it all out by themselves. They're not willing to invest in ads because they think by not investing they're saving. Wrong attitude in business. Even when I started my first business in 2002, I quit my corporate job. I put money into that business. I even got a loan to put it into that business because I knew about return on investment. Now, those of you that are aware, you are savvy, you're not sitting there thinking, I don't need to invest, this is going to all happen on its own. You need to act quickly and start building your audiences before the others catch up with you. Many won't, because many aren't cut out even for business. So if you're a coach sat there thinking you're going to get away with learning all this by yourself and not investing at all in any software or ads, I'm not saying you need software to start with, you really are living the dream. So if you're that coach, I want you to leave this webinar now, because it ain't going to suit you. You're wasting your time. You might as well come off and carry on doing what you're doing. For those of you who do understand you need a return on investment, please carry on watching. So what are the 4 steps? I talked at the very start about the 4 simple steps you need to get your coaching business off the ground. So step 1, okay, I see so many coaches not doing this. They're not talking to their clients' pain. So you need to talk to your clients' pain. People buy out of pain. They don't generally buy towards pleasure, but they buy out of being in pain. So you have to do the research to know what the pain and issues are in your market. It sounds obvious, but there's a very systematic way of doing this, which I see most coaches don't do. And with my clients, I go through a detailed exercise of how to draw out every single pain in your market so that you are streets ahead of other coaches in your niche. Then when we pull out the pain, okay, you can test your message on the ads platform for as little as $10 a day. Yes, you can try it organically, okay, but I'm telling you now that organic engagement is really gone. Unless you started years ago, unless you've got, masses of VAs behind the scenes, virtual assistants logging into your account and messaging all your friends and building up your friends list and engaging. Unless you've got that luxury, engagement has literally just gone, okay? Though Facebook wants you to pay for ads, and you can, for a little, to test really quickly within even a 4 to 7 day period, $10 a day. Now, if you can't invest that in your business, you're probably best not staying on this webinar, because that, to test your message and your market and what resonates, is going to be gold in your business. Paid advertising is the quickest and easiest way for a coach with no standing at all to get high ticket clients super fast. And not only can that $10 a day get you the data, because the data tells you what's working, what isn't, that data will be then great for you to go and build your webinar. Okay, it's a certain system we use. We test our market, we test our message, and not until we've tested for that little amount of money can we then go and create our webinar, because we know it's going to work then. We know what works and what doesn't. You don't have to figure it out. The data tells you. Now, step 2, when you've gone through that phase, you need to get really clear on your offer and the result you promise. I see too many coaches out there saying, I promise entrepreneurs to have a stress-free life. Too vague. Okay, what entrepreneur, what does a stress-free life mean? So with my clients, I help you get clear on your offer, right down to the bone, that people literally land on your profile or on your ad and go, that is me, I want that. Okay, so you need to get clear on your offer and the result that you promise. And we don't have a vague result like a happier life, clarity, a compelling future. Those are not results. So you need to be very clear on the results you promise and what you offer to stand out online, because most coaches are not marketers. They don't want to be marketers, and let them carry on being vague. Let them carry on doing all the posting and not getting the recognition they want online. Step 3, once we've gone through those 2 steps, we then need to build a very simple funnel. I'm not talking about a guru funnel, very simple. I even give my clients templates so they don't have to create them themselves. And at that point then, we create that workshop or webinar, which is going to draw people into your fold. But we don't create the webinar until we know what resonates with our market. I've seen so many people do it the other way around and guess what our market wants. They go and guess what should be in the webinar. And then they wonder why the webinar's fallen flat on its face. And then only at that point do we start building direct response ads. And what I mean by that is we start building ads that get taken to that webinar. We get the opt-ins, okay? We get the opt-ins, we get the emails, and we start testing our little funnel after doing all the research and getting it right from day one. And then once we build that, we start retargeting in a very, very clever way. ISO 14 has changed the world, how we retarget. It's not like it used to be. We cannot rely on the pixel anymore. For those of you who don't know what a pixel is, it's just a way of tracking people that come to your landing pages and your website. We can't rely on that. And in 2022, that might have even gone. We might not have the pixel anymore. So there's very clever ways of retargeting people using what we've got within Facebook. So we build out that funnel and we start running proper ads to it and testing small. We don't have to throw loads of money at this. And once you start building your client base, you can then put money back in to the system. And over time, step 4 is we fine tune, we learn how to close without being a complete sleazeball. You know, we're not going to use those closing tactics that we did 4 years ago. And a bonus step, okay, while you're paying for the ads, you get some coaches out there say never touch organic. I'm not one of those coaches. I'm very much up for ads to get things done quickly. But I'm also aware that Facebook's changing, everything's changing in our world. And while we're running the ads, we can actually build an organic system to build our group at the same time. We don't even have to work at it. The ads will do that for us in an automated way to build our groups, okay? Because groups are a great way of getting clients. And there's a really clever way of getting clients in addition, with groups, in addition to running ads. So we'll be building your group, we'll be building your email list, okay? And that email list has to be sequenced in a certain way to get the open rates up. Okay, we insert clever steps into your funnel of building your group. It's another touch point. I'm not talking about posting in your group. That's the worst thing you can do 24/7. You know, in our groups, we don't have to spend much time at all, but we have a really clever system of pulling even more clients and more touch points into your business. As I said, ISO 14 changed the world. There are too many traps to be aware of, to fall into, so you need to be aware. Okay, so I hope you've got a lot of, advice from that. Being in this so many years now, I want to get rid of the myths out there that a lot of the coaches are putting on people, that organic works. You can just rely on organic alone. Yes, use organic, but know its place, know where to put it, and know you only need to spend so much time on that platform, then come off, go and spend time with your family, and do my system, which is way more automated and so much faster. So that's why I'm offering my help. I've used ads for over 20 years. And as I said, I've been burnt so many times, but I've learned. So I'm sharing all that with you today and on my program for my clients. Now, I want to get your diary filled with 5 to 10 discovery calls a week with prospects who want to know you, and want to know what you do, and they want in. You're not into hard sell. How about having a calendar that looks like that? Wouldn't that be more healthier? Wouldn't you be able to turn around to your spouse and say, look at this, look at this, I've cracked it, finally cracked it, and have a good night out. Okay, so what do you actually need? You need at the very start a very bullseye offer and message. Now, a lot of people think they get that, but they seriously don't. I take my clients through a very thorough exercise where we really nail that, their offer and the message. Then we need to get quality traffic. I'm not talking about organic, I'm talking about running ads, testing, fine tuning, and then getting that quality traffic into our very, very simple funnel and our webinar that we now know works because we've tested it up front and we know what to put in that webinar. And then the next step is to get onto a diagnostic call, get them on the call. It could be even an audit, do a little bit, tiny little bit of coaching on there, give them some value, some golden nuggets, not like it used to be. We need to really nurture our people now because there's so much competition out there, and you close them at that point. So that's exactly what I help my clients with, right from start, right from finish. Coaches who've just started out and coaches who do get a few clients but really are struggling to maintain it and it's just kind of falling flat. Now, the harsh truth is I see so many coaches that they're brilliant at what they do, but they end up packing it in as this getting client thing. It just beats them in the end. And they're not willing to invest, not even in marketing or themselves. That is the biggest reason. And the real truth is, it can actually be quite hard to get your head around all this stuff if you're trying to work it all out all on your own. You need to learn off somebody who's made all the mistakes. You want to fast track your way so you're not spending 2 or 3 years trying to work it out and feeling totally deflated. And you don't have to have marketing as your main area of expertise, okay? You do want to focus on your coaching. So I understand that, and that's why I've developed the system so that my coaches can focus on what they love. And if it becomes too hard and time consuming, you will become disillusioned 100%. So I can help you get a system in place that fills your pipeline full of leads, so you literally spend only 5 to 10% of your time marketing and the rest on coaching. So how many strategy discovery calls have you done recently? I want you to think about that. Okay, and how many have you closed? And do you know how many clients you're going to get in the next 30 days with predictability? Have you got a system that allows you to predict how many clients you're going to get? We're running a business, we need to know. We don't run businesses without forecasts, without certainty. And are you willing to invest in yourself and your business to get results? I think you've got to really question those things and be honest with yourself. Okay, and if you're not willing to invest in yourself or your marketing, you have got to question whether this will work for you. Because I can hear coaches all the time saying, I've got no funds, I can't afford any coaching. If you're in that situation, you can't afford not to invest in yourself, as you're guaranteeing yourself to stay broke. So can I show you the quickest and easiest way to fix this fast in your business? Because I can guarantee that 98% of coaches will be out of business in the next 6 to 12 months, purely because they're just carrying on doing the same old things as every other coach out there. And many will not have even got off the ground, purely because they're doing the same things as everybody else and they're not willing to invest in themselves or their business. So I want to question you right now. Is what you're doing right now, is it working for you? And are you doing what every other coach like you is doing out there? Okay. Life coaches, are you all sending the same message out with the same offers and doing the same things and not getting anywhere? Not just life coaches, but all other coaches out there selling their services online in this very oversaturated market. We've got to be a bit cleverer than that now. Now, any successful coach does whatever it takes to get started and be successful. They've got to be driven. They find the resources, okay? They may not have the resources, but they go out and find them. Now, when I split from my husband many years ago after building our photography coaching business, and it was just booming, divorce hit, and I found myself in £30,000 worth of debt with 2 young children. I was in a really bad place. My mind was all over the place, and I was struggling to get myself back on the right road. When I remember that day feeling absolutely worn out, at my lowest, hitting 30,000, looking at the bank accounts, £30,000 worth of debt. I realised then the only way I could get out of that debt was to invest in myself. And I hired a coach, and I spent £4,000 on a coach back then to help me get out of my big black hole. I had to choose very carefully, but it was the best thing I ever did. And I never looked back. And what I learned from that coach absolutely springboarded me to my success and got me out of that big black hole. So let's think about you for a minute. Maybe you're making, I don't know, let's just say £1,000 a month. Maybe you've hit that mark. But you could be, with the right system that frees up your time, okay, so you're spending all your time coaching and serving your clients and getting your client results, you could be making £10,000 a month. And that leap from 1,000 to 10,000 could afford you that holiday, beautiful holiday, abroad by the beach, and also let you buy your dream home. That is the difference between earning 1,000 where you're scraping by, you can't pay the bills, you're slipping into debt, to getting 10,000. That's purely freeing up your time, getting clients, serving your clients. And once you've got your client results, it all feeds back on itself because you get loads of testimonials, loads of reviews. Then people want to come to you. So I'm going to ask you, are you of the mindset that by not investing in yourself, you are saving? I know so many people that think, well, I'm saving because I'm not spending. But is that really smart? Especially now in the marketplace we're in, where it's absolutely super crowded. So I would like to give the opportunity of gaining insight of what I've personally learned over all these years of being an entrepreneur and getting clients and investing well over $2 million in advertising, by offering to you today a free audit call. Okay, I'm going to give you a few golden nuggets on this call. So I'm going to look at where you are now, right now. Everybody's in a different place. They've, built their business to a different level. Where you're stuck right now and where you want to be. Okay, and pave the clear road ahead. Look at a plan for you of how to get there. And I'm going to show you how you can get leads and sales with predictability and literally become unstoppable, make this full time, quit that 9 to 5, and just literally get this thing working for you. Now that is without posting like a celebrity, because I'm going to have to ask you the question, who really likes posting? Is it a great hobby of yours? Because most coaches out there I know really find it a bit of a grind to get on there and having to post every day, think of content, and they're doing it because they feel they have to. Okay, I'm not saying don't post, but who likes doing that every day? And that's the only way you can get clients. And without being super famous on every single platform, being unknown is actually better. Okay, being unknown is better. It really is, because there's a better, simpler way out there to get yourself known and in everybody's, in your ideal client's face, that you keep reappearing and getting again. Okay, with retargeting. And without having to become a marketing expert, you don't have to become a marketing expert, not with this simple system. And you don't have to be charging measly hourly rates that you're literally scraping by on. We're looking at high ticket offers here where we're going to add value and add an irresistible offer where your clients can't say no. Okay, it's kind of lazy to charge £50 or $50 an hour. You're kind of slipping back into your comfort zones where you think that's what people will pay you. You're not grabbing what you're worth. And, I'm going to show you a way without spending a heap of time trying to work all this out, which could take you maybe 2 or 3 years down the line. By that time, you've probably given up. Without writing a book for credibility, my story, writing a book, it got me nowhere. And without having to be super salesy and, being really kind of super salesy, trying to close those deals in a really cold-fashioned way. So we can formulate a blueprint and a plan so you can start getting clients consistently. And now, this month, and clients who say yes to your prices and actually asking to work with you, reaching out to work with you. And once set up, you can maintain the system in only 15, 20 minutes a day, so you can then serve your clients. That is what it's all about. Your clients come first, their results come first. Now I'm going to go through a worst and best scenario, because I know many of you might be really skeptical. I'm not going to go on a call. I'm going to back you into a corner. I'm going to hard close you. Well, you couldn't be further from the truth. This is not a hard sale close call at all. So let's look at the worst case scenario. Okay, we get on the phone. We talk about your business. We look at where the holes are. We look at a great plan of you going forward. You can take that information and you can implement it yourself. Or you could take it to another coach. Say, look, this is what I've learned from Elaine Sanderson. Can we implement it? So the worst case scenario is you're going to walk away with a much better idea of where you are now, somebody looking from the outside, looking at your business, and a way of getting to where you want to be. We may not work together. I may decide you're not right for me. I don't work with every coach. I'm quite select. In fact, when you come on a call with me, you'll go through a bit of an application form. It's only 2 minutes to fill it out, but I've got to make sure you're right for me. So if I decide on the call, you're not the sort of person I can help, I will be totally honest with you. And the worst case scenario is I say, look, I'm sorry, I can't help you. You're not a typical person I work with. And we part as friends. Or you may think, I'm not ready. I don't want this. It's not for me. That's fine as well. So the worst case scenario is we part as friends. You've got a plan to go forward with. So the best case scenarios, we both get on the phone and I say, fantastic, you are just the sort of person I can help. You are literally my ideal client. Would you like to get started? And if you feel it's a great fit too, we'll get started. So there's a worst and a best scenario. We're not going to do a hard close. You either say yes or no. So I'm going to ask you now, would you put in $1? Because before we get on the call, I have to know that you're willing to invest a little bit in your business, because my system, we do get on the ads platform and we test a little with a little bit of money. Okay. So would you put $1 in to get $10 out? Most people say yes to that. So if you've said yes to that, let's move forward. So I want you now to fill out the application. We can implement this fast scale blueprint together, only if it seems we're a good fit. Okay, I've already said this, but if it's not a good fit for you or me, that's totally fine. We can both say yes or no. We all have a choice in life. This is not a hard close call. So I just want to tell you now, I only take on 5 new clients every month because I need to make this work for you, because I'm a firm believer in results. Those results you get also feed my business. So I only take 5 on a month. Now, either way, I don't want you waking up in 12 months' time and not move forward at all, or worse, giving up totally, decided to quit coaching and keep your day job or whatever you do. The worst that can happen is I say you will learn a strategy to scale your coaching business quickly. I can guarantee that. So all I want you to do is just book a call, elainesanderson.com/call. You can book a call, find a slot available. We'll jump on the call. Now, when you book that call, there'll be a bit of an application form. Then once you filled that in, I've got a little bit of homework for you to do before we get on the call, so we are really prepared. Okay, so you've got a little bit of work to do. Apply. Now, if you apply and I read the application and I just feel that we're not going to be a good fit, I will just email you and say, look, I'm really sorry. I don't think this call's going to work. Okay, so be as descriptive as you can on that application form, because you don't want to waste your time or mine, really, to be honest, and get that done. And then once you book the call, you'll have a little bit of homework before we get on the call, so that we are really prepared and we're going to make the most of that call. So I just want to point out, if you do decide to work with me and I decide to work with you, I work to make your offers irresistible. I make your messaging bullseye, bang on in your market. Okay, when I mean offers, I mean what you're offering people, what results you are promising people, and what you can offer as a package. We test if it resonates in the market. We build your simple funnel. We build your webinar because we know what to build it on anyway, because we know what resonates from our testing. We then build the system to get the leads in quickly for you. We I teach you how to close on the sales call so you can build your business super quickly without relying on all this relentless posting. We give you the funnel templates so you can work on them. I give you so many swipe files so you're not having to rethink emails, posts, ads, headlines, templates. We build it all together, webinar examples. We work on everything together, absolutely everything. We're not going to leave any stone unturned. So as I say, you've got nothing to lose. Just click the link, get that call booked, and we'll jump on that call. And I cannot wait to see you on the other side.